Good morning, and welcome to this live broadcast of Three Country Ride to Cure Breast Cancer, presented by SpotLink and benefiting the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Today is an unusual part of our daily morning Mingle series. We have the pleasure of speaking with a number of people involved in making their community of Garnett better. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Most notably, we have Ruth Lee Hastert, historian of the Friends of the Prairie Spirit Rail Trail, Denise Weber, president of the Friends of the Prairie Spirit Rail Trail, Michelle Hermer, co-founder of Wings, Women in Need of Gaining Strength, and also Deb McMahon, okay. Ron, we getting this in okay on the camera? It's a wide angle camera.
Yeah.
And she's also a co-founder of Wings, and Kris, executive director of the Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning.
Thank you. And all of the rest of you, thank you. We're going to ask a few questions here. If any of you want to chime in, feel welcome. This was billed as a 3-minute interview. We can go as long as you want, though. So our first question, can you tell us a little bit about Garnett? So our community out there, we have a national audience. What would you tell them about Garnett? Kris, do you want to hear
obviously today, as you see from the turnout, it's family, it's community, and there's so many ways that they come together to benefit this town, financially and otherwise.
It is very impressive. We haven't had anything like this before, so that's great. How did the city get its name? Okay.
There's a man a wealthy businessman in Louisville, Kentucky, who funded a town company. And as the pioneers moved west, that's how towns were developed. People in the east funded town companies, and they advertised for pioneers to come and settle in their area. And so a group of 4 men actually established Garnett in the late 1850s when this area was open for settlement.
Wow.
It was incorporated in 1861.
Okay.
But it was named after W.A. Garnett.
Okay. Well, he was one of the men that was funding it?
He was the main organizer.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. How would you describe the Prairie Spirit Rail Trail to someone who has not visited here?
Well, the rail trail is 51 miles of hiking and biking trail that winds along an abandoned railroad bed, and it crosses picturesque areas like wooded timberlands, tall grass prairies, creek beds, and quaint small towns. And it opened in 1996 with the central portion, and this abandoned Santa Fe depot that we're in today was the main trailhead. Since it has expanded north to Ottawa and south to Iola, so we now have 51 miles of picturesque hiking and biking where we can encourage all kinds of activities for healthy lifestyles and families to get out in the outdoors. And we also sponsor many events that bring people in from other areas.
Wow.
And since it has now become a state park, so we get a lot more traffic on the trail.
And we can attest to it. Ron and I rode a good portion of it yesterday. So thank you very much for having that there. It really helped us avoid the unsafe highway out here. Can some of you give us examples of some of the events that you sponsor for the community? Any?
Wings, for the community, we do a walk. And on the first Saturday of October, we do a walk. We there's what else? We do t-shirt. We fund our t-shirts. What else do we do?
What does Wings do?
Wednesday in October. Cornstalk. Cornstalk is a big thing when Kris could talk to you about that.
Cornstalk, the concert on the hill that we were talking about earlier, where they bring in music, usually 3 acts, and there's usually 5,000 to 6,000 people that participate in that. We have Lake Garnett Grand Prix Revival for a weekend with race cars and a lot of activities, and the Square Fair where local people come in, vendors of all types, quilts, crafts, food. They're just numerous. Today we have the Community Foundation doing the Color Splat 5K run out at the stadium, so it's not ever dull here.
Yes.
The Friends of the Trail sponsor this depot is converted into a haunted house every Halloween for children in the community. And last Halloween we had over 1,000 people through. And we serve complimentary hot dogs as well as give them candy for treats. And so it's a big draw from the whole area. People come from outside of town to it. And then we decorate the Donna Harris Park on the square at Christmas time, and many families take family pictures there.
Wow, that's great. Obviously, a lot of community spirit there. And what do you do to promote health and wellness in the community?
A little bit of everything between the runs, the walks, we have a rec center. There are all kinds of programs, yoga, cycling, stuff for the kids. So it's all around, and it's now 24-hour access, so that makes it even better. You know, more people can fit that getting healthy into their day. Plus the hospital has things like lunch and learns, so you can learn more about, and the pharmacy as well, as to how to get healthier.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's great. Do you two want to talk a little bit about Wings and what you do for the community and how you came about? Come on, step up a little bit, make sure we get good audio in here. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about how it got started, what you do.
Well, when I was diagnosed, I prayed a prayer that said, God, you know, let me live and I'll do something to help other women, not knowing what that was. And then so a few years after I was diagnosed, Michelle was diagnosed, and then she was diagnosed again a couple years later. And then we just put our heads together and came up with Wings, and it means Women in Need Gaining Strength. We got with Shannon works at our hospital, and we pulled her on board, and then Georgia's on our board as well. And then there's 3 other people that are on our board. And then it just blossomed. It was just an idea, and we ran with it, and we thought it was just going to be a 1-year thing. It turned out to be a 10-year thing. And Michelle said we raised about $20,000 a year and able to pay out $19,000 to people who were needing help.
Mammograms, office visits, gas bars, once in a while a utility bill, pharmacy, you know, we'll pick up a copay on pharmacy or something if somebody needs it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really great. You guys do that.
We have people who if somebody's needing a meal, they'll cook a meal or clean a house or something like that. So somebody's always there, ready to pick up where they're needing it. So we have a Facebook page. Over 1,300 people are on our Facebook page from all over the world. We have somebody in China that's on Facebook with us, and it's a pretty, what I thought was going to be just a little deal, is turning into a huge deal. We have 2 little girls back there. We call them our wing dingers. Ellie right there, she was a wing dinger when she was 7 years old, and she's just continues to support us. And Jordan and Josie have a lemonade stand on Mother's Day weekend, and they've been doing it since they were in kindergarten, and they just have a lemonade stand and make their lemonade.
And you're saying that the walk you did last year or something had 300 people show up?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
Who's our cowboy right here?
This is Ryan, our nephew.
Hey.
He's a big supporter.
Yeah.
He's from Gardner, so he's an hour away.
No.
We have a lot of family and friends that always pitch in and help.
Yeah.
Everybody in our wing shirts, we call them the Wings Warriors. And so we provide prayers and encouragement and things on our Facebook page.
Yeah. And in our local Catholic church, every Saturday or Sunday afternoon at 4, they pray rosary for cancer.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Awesome. Anyone else want to add anything to Garnett or the community, or it's just incredibly awesome to have you all show up, and you all have done so much for this community. You all deserve a round of applause to yourselves.
Yes.
We're going to head out from here. We're riding to to Kansas City, essentially. Anyone here have any advice for our ride today? Okay. Yeah, okay.
Well, I would say we thank you for the opportunity to expose these girls and get the word out.
Yeah, it'll certainly be on our Facebook page, right? It's on there right now. And, you know, feel free to share it as much as you want.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
and have the links.
One final fun question. Any of you know a weird fact you want to share? Anything that's kind of something fun? I think you got a few.
Garnett has had a very, very illustrious past. In its early days, it was known as kind of a hideout for gangsters. And many people used the railway to come here, and they would get off here at the depot, walk down to the town square, and look for work. And farmers, as they came to town, would hire people. Pretty Boy Floyd and his brother came into Garnett that way from Oklahoma. And they were both hired to work on a farm, but it wasn't long until Pretty Boy Floyd decided he wanted something that was a little more lucrative. And so he, as we all know, developed a pattern of bank robberies. And he would come back to Garnett when the law would get hot on his trail, and he lived in the apartments above the buildings on the south side of the square. And people who were here at that time tell stories about how he was a gentleman, he was so polite and courteous, he was always well dressed. And one time someone asked him, why didn't the Garnett banks ever get robbed? And he just grinned and said, well, a fellow doesn't rob his own bank.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for that. All right, we're going to be hitting the road soon. Catch us for our new Live from the Road update and our 8 p.m. recap. Thank you, and thank you.